And welcome back, everybody. We are going into set number 2 of this group, which once again is going to be Andrey versus NeMu. And it's going to be on ground zero once again.
Yeah, we get our American challenger in the group, and American challenger who wants to get with your sister. Not specifically your sister, Sale. I mean,
Indeed.
everyone's sister who is listening that I'm addressing. You.
The generic your, the collective your sister.
I guess we have NeMu here defending your sister's virtue.
That's exactly what's happening here. Oh man, NeMu is the white knight here. So,
Yeah.
NeMu, by the way, I assume it's the same NeMu, but there was a NeMu who qualified for TSL2.
Really?
And I assume it's this NeMu, but that NeMu was listed as Zerg, so it might not necessarily be the same one. I don't know.
Maybe.
But how many guys can there be called NeMu?
I saw
From
NeMu
Bulgaria.
play Zerg at some point, and I was less impressed than his Protoss. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe he just got worse at Zerg and was like, well, I guess I play random now. But, I mean, I could be wrong. I only saw, like, a really short game, so
Well,
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
we have confirmation that it is in fact the same NeMu, so that means this guy's pretty old school. I mean, TSL2
Yeah.
was 2009, right? So, yeah, he was seriously good back then, and he's qualified for the TLS.
I think the word old school is definitely an interesting one to think about these days, because when you say, oh, he's old school because he played in TSL2, there'd be people who were like old school back in TSL2 who would like laugh saying that was old school when really it was like new school, but now it's old school. But is it still old school? I don't know. It's weird. I feel like it's like
well, I mean,
back when
last week
to me,
we
like,
had Ariador, right? And so he was like old school when things were. He was old school in the old school generation, if that makes sense. Because he had to pimp his play from like 2004.
yeah.
So that guy was true old school. So NeMu's like the new school of the old school. Yes.
Fake old school.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
we get started?
yeah, let's go into the game.
Confused everyone.
And here we are in the game. Oh, NeMu chatting it up. Anyway, Andrey will be the blue Terran at the bottom right, and NeMu the red Zerg at the bottom left.
Well, I mean, he's quite upset about this Dr. Dre thing going on here, whereas he's actually misread it. It's actually just Dre, and not Dr. Dre or whatever. But, you know, I mean, I don't think Andre's gonna try and make him not think that he's actually Dr. Dre, and you kind of having your opponent chat at the start of the game when you don't have to do anything at all. Oh man.
NeMu, by the way,
is this going to be the 9 pool?
dude, he was chatting in one of the qualifier semis, and Tupacalypse actually told him to stop. It was so funny. You remember that game where NeMu's like, "Oh, is it against the rules? Like, can I talk to people?" Tupacalypse was like, "No, it's frowned upon. We dislike people making friends." And the poor NeMu was just like, "Aw."
What is Chobal? Does anyone? I feel like I'm swearing in Polish or something. It's Chobal like?
You probably.
I feel like it's like Chobo, you know, like you're a noob or whatever. But anyway, we'll see.
By the way,
I just talked shit about his Zerg, so he's gonna have to prove me wrong. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, Keontae. Let's see what happens here. If he wins his EVT, you gotta take back everything you said. Especially because he's defending our sister's honor right now, so yeah, you gotta give him some respect. His hatchery's late though. He's gonna make it on like 380 minerals.
So maybe I was
lame. By the way, if anyone has absolutely no idea what we're talking about with the sister thing, go read Andrey's winner's interview from, or not, I guess not winner's interview because he got second, but his qualifier interview thing. It is actually hilarious. You have to go read it. It's amazing.
Yeah. And looks like it's going to be Mac here from Andrey or Dr. Dre or Dre or however we want to pronounce his name. It's one of those players who, yeah, Jimbag. Well, then that's just more confusing. But yeah, going for the mech play in this map, I think it's a pretty good idea. These these little ridge columny things sort of outside your natural let you sort of control the flow of units pretty well with tanks and lets you sort of take that third base. And with the close positions they've got here, sort of mech pushers aren't going to have to wander all the way out through the middle exposed portion of the map, and to be able to push through this nice contained sort of narrow corridor all the way to the Zerg base. So yeah, pretty good decision here.
That's a very good point. I mean, that's why I kind of really dislike this map in horizontal positions for PBT, just for the exact same reason that you said, where those little things in the middle kind of make it hard for you to flank a push going straight to your base. Although the thing is, he did go for that before actually seeing the spawning locations, so that, obviously that was his game plan all along, but the spawn positions I think are just going to help him in the long run. If he does go for true mech, that is, he can of course still go back into bio after whatever opening he's doing. He could go for some kind of fast vulture drop and then go back, or just one vulture and then go for a fast starport.
There's so many options that the Terran has when they go for a gas burst, sort of make a factory. You can go 2-port Wraith. You could just expand with some vultures to keep lings off. There's all different sorts of things. It looks like that's what's actually going to happen here. As I say it, drops the command center. So I look once again, just predicting things left and right.
Man.
I feel like I'm like ahead of you somehow. Like we're in the same game, but somehow I'm like ahead, and I'm just pretending that we're on like the same place in the game. But
oh man,
I am actually.
The secret is that all of these players are actually Keontae Smurfs, and he's actually just played all these games, so he knows exactly what's going on and what the players are thinking. Dirty cheater.
And, dropping a second factory, so it is going to be a sustained mech play. It's not just some sort of weird vulture expand into medic marine. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you don't see a lot of. These kind of mech expand builds. Normally, players want to be a bit more aggressive when they go for that mech opening, and you'll see a lot of one port, one factory kind of vulture drops or wraith harass with drops.
I think Andrey's just going to get hydra busted and die. Because there's no lair. There's Hydra
There is a
ops.
lair. Yeah.
Oh, now there's a lair. Damn it! Ah!
He's probably just getting that so he can get Overlord speed and clear out mines if they are going to be a problem.
No.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, he does have this Marine though, and he is going to see the Hydralisk. I think a little bit of a mistake there. I think he could have held them back and not sort of given away his hand a little bit there. But I mean, I guess a few Hydralisks against a mech play is pretty standard. You want to get them out so you can control vultures in case there's a big run by or a drop or something like that. He's not going to expect a big sort of Hydra bust, and honestly, I don't think that's coming. He's making more drones, making a few links. He's got the speed upgrade, but he's only made the 2 Hydralisks. So.
Aww. Yeah, when the second gas went down, actually, I was wondering if that actually wasn't the case. It totally would have worked though, because as you can see, 2 Hydras are just gonna start harassing the natural here. So if he actually went for mass Hydras, he would have won the game. And the funny thing is that even though Hydra Bust is something that you traditionally more expect in ZVP, it can actually work surprisingly well in ZVT. 2H Hydra Bust actually works ridiculously well.
I've got Steve Man!
Dude, I got Steve Man too. I didn't have D&D on. I forgot to put D&D on.
He's doing it to me, but I don't have a stream on, so...
Oh.
Sorry, Steve Man, but I mentioned him, so...
I'm glad he's back though. I've been missing him. He's like my most. He's basically like my biggest fan. He's actually there every single cast, or he was back in the day before he got IP banned.
People who don't know, he got found out. He was what?
He was light
whip. Again? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Steve Man was light whip, or is light whip. So hi, light whip.
I don't know how he's back though. I thought he got IP banned from Icicle.
I guess you got a new IP.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Yeah, but I don't know how the account is still there either. Maybe he added a dash or something. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, we got some turrets being added. I don't think there's a spire though. Yeah, it's only halfway done, so there's not actually any threat of mutas. He also got like the Goliath range upgrade really early, but again that didn't help. I like this little semicircle wall thing he's doing. That's quite cute. Although it's gonna block his units from getting out, so he's gonna have to kill something to get out eventually. But it looks like he's just slightly scared.
Because it's Iraq and it can lift.
Wait, never mind. Ha! Just kidding. Just kidding.
But he only has 2 factories, so she's getting a staple now. So I mean, he doesn't have any real option to be aggressive for like the next like 5-10 minutes. He doesn't have that many units. He's got a few Goliaths, and like that's it. And they can be easily cleaned up just by the Zerglings that have been here for like the past 2 minutes or so.
That's fine though.
I don't know if I like this though. I mean, he's just letting NeMu do whatever the hell he wants. You know, he can take like 3 or 4 bases now, and there'd be nothing that Andrey could do about it.
The thing is, when you're going mech, it doesn't actually matter as much. Oh man, is he actually gonna go for this? I don't think that's gonna work. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Nope. 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 Run away. Come on, unburrow. Out. Out. Get out. What are you doing, man? Leave. Leave.
Well, he's feeding the SCPs to the hungry. So.
Why did he do that? I'm like, what?
I feel like he just made that more effective.
Yeah.
Like, it had done 0 damage, and then he was like, well, I guess I'll just gift you some SCVs to make it fair, right? But here come the Mutalisks now. But there's a lot of Goliaths, and they should be able to fend these off really, really easily without a problem.
Yeah, see?
They do manage to kill the SCV build in the science facility, but that will be started up again nice and quickly, and he will be able to get those vessels out if he so desires nice and quickly.
Going back to your point about letting the Zerg do whatever he wants, when you're going for mech, that's generally what happens in the early game, is you have to be very defensive early on, and Zergs will take advantage of that by expanding faster than usual. But the thing is, that's okay, because mech is so cost efficient against Zerg that they basically need those extra bases to kind of outproduce you, because the Hydralisk will otherwise just get torn apart by a solid mech army. So usually what happens is the Terran player kind of just sits on his 2 bases, masses up a really solid sized force, and once he gets enough units to actually move out solidly, it can actually be very, very dangerous for the Zerg if he doesn't actually have that solid eco up. Meanwhile, the Muta is just kind of harassing a little bit, kind of keeping the Terran pinged back here. He's trying to do as much damage as he can without sacrificing too much. He should hopefully actually get a 4th base soon here. We do see a drone at the top left natural there. And
he's doing a pretty good job of this harass, actually. He killed a fair few SCVs. He's completely stopped mining from that base, pretty much. And he's going to force these Goliaths to be moving around. They're really clunky. It's a pain in the ass to do. He's probably going to have to put up a hell of a load of turrets there just to defend. And in the meantime, he's just going back into Hydras.
He should actually just lift the barracks and float it here or something like that, just to give himself vision so he doesn't have to keep using comsats. It's just, I mean, you know, it's kind of helping to wall against some kind of bust, but at this point I think he's actually got enough ground units that he shouldn't need to worry about it too much. Also, he should have an engineering base somewhere as well, but yeah, it's not really using it. So, so that would be very useful. Anyway, looks like some lag just as NeMu was trying to do some muta micro. Very convenient timing there. Meanwhile, the 4th base going up, as I said. And you know, even though normally you'd say, oh, 4 base Zerg against 2 base Terran is good, that's only in the case when the Terran's playing bio. When he's going for mech, obviously he's much less mobile and can't really do anything about it except for the occasional vulture harass, as I said before, and doesn't need to be overly concerned just yet. But hopefully
I am a little bit worried for NeMu right now. The radiate is sort of well over halfway done now. Once that radiate's up, these Mutalisks are going to be pretty useless. He's not doing the gym bag build and building a million Mutalisks, so we won't be able to just spread them out and attack move. He has a few Hydras, but he doesn't have a lot of Hydras, and to sort of bust a mech push like this when there's like a fair few tanks, oh, there aren't that many tanks, but enough tanks, you really need that nice bulk of Hydralists to just kind of just Zerg it down, so to speak.
Yeah, the mutas are still doing damage though. Where is the first vessel out yet?
He's got the vessel.
He's got 2 vessels actually. Oh, he's coming back. Oh, he's gonna radiate it. Oh, eat it. Oh man, he's gotta split it. Oh, he's got double irradiate. He can't split it properly anymore. He split them into 2 groups, but there's still irradiate, and it looks like he does save the mutas. They're quite heavily damaged, but the thing is, there's no turret here anymore, so they can actually keep doing more damage. And it looks like, oh man, some ground units of the Zerg getting caught out here. He's not paying attention. Gonna lose a couple of lurkers for free, it looks like. And there's the scan. Lurker's really not that effective against, you know, a mech army. I'm not sure why he's made so many Lurkers here. Generally, you just stay on pure Hydralisk Muta. Lurkers are mainly just good against a bio composition, so that's a little bit surprising to me, but he's going to catch a couple of these tanks off guard, maybe. No, he's actually going for the counterattack, it looks like. One SCV trying to stem the tide of Zerg here. Oh no, he's going back. He's going back. All right, here we go.
I don't know if there's enough tanks here for the Terran player.
Oh man,
he might actually just lose his push here, and this is really bad for the Terran. If you lose the bulk of the first push, and you're stuck in the 2 bases, you haven't got a third on, there's not much else you can do at that point. I mean, you've lost, you know, the bulk of your army, haven't really gained all that much. He probably killed a few drones, but the Zerg can reproduce those off all these hatcheries really, really quickly. And he has the, you know, that 4th base, the 5th base coming up. I think he made a big blunder there. He didn't have enough tanks with his push. He didn't have any mines or anything like that. It was just pure Goliath, pure tank, and without, you know, the sort of, you know, 10 plus tanks, the Hydras were able to just move in and just mow that attack down. Yeah, really good decision making.
I think it was just a slightly premature push, as you said, and also, you know, this kind of mech strategy is also much better on maps where you can get a very easy third gas base as well. And the third gas base here at the 3 o'clock is a little bit far away here. It's not so easy to cover all this ground in between the bases. So I don't think this is the best map for this kind of strategy either.
Well, he's definitely going to try and take this soon. He has this command center almost done, but you're right, it's going to be really tough to defend because it lets the Zerg play this giant attack flank off on you, because this pretty much, apart from this sort of small, unpathable area in the middle of the map, you can get a nice sort of big arc going in terms of units to try and make a push on this third gas base. And honestly, I think you'd be better off going for this mineral-only base and just relying more on vultures to you know, stem the tide of the Hydralisk, as opposed to being so Goliath. And it looks like that's what he's doing.
Look at that mini-map, by the way. Amazing coverage by NeMu. He's got vision everywhere here in a ring around the Terran. He's now got his 5th base just up and running. By the way, notice that the hive has only just now started. It's a fairly late hive as far as normal, quote-unquote, normal ZVT goes, because against mech, you actually don't need it that quickly. You know, against bio, you need to kind of rush for the defilers. But against a mech army, you know, if you can actually stay on there for a very long time, just mass Muta and Hydra, and still do a decent job, and delay that hive tech. So that's why he's doing that, and also getting triple upgrades, of course, very important.
That being said, it's not like Defilers are bad against him. Defilers are fantastic. It looks like he's actually coming in for an attack here with this giant flank I talked about. And is it going to be enough? I'm not quite sure if he has the legs to actually beat down this. Oh, actually no, he does. So he's got it.
Like, actually, sure he does. And now the third base is gone. And he's behind 20 supply.
Rest easy that their sister's virtue may well be intact by the end of this game. At least for the moment, anyway.
Yeah, so... Oh, we're trying to run out with some vultures. Yeah, he's actually going to get through with 3 of them just because he has speed. Where's he actually going to go? Alright, he's going to go to the top left. Any defense here? 4 Hydras? Pretty good, pretty good. I don't know why he's going back, though. Oh, he tried to be cute there and, like, patrol. Oh! Uh-oh, NeMu. NeMu, uh-oh! Uh-oh, starting the taunting! Oh,
I do love that he misspelled the word embarrassing. That's I always love it when people taunt people with badly spelled, you know, it's embarrassing that you misspelled embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, it's... I know that English isn't his first language, and it makes sense that he would misspell some words, but still, it's kind of funny that the word embarrassing was the one that was misspelled.
Well, it's better when people, like, try and correct other people's grammar with poor grammar or something.
Oh, yeah, that's the best, yeah. They give, like, you know, the correct spelling with the asterisk next to it, but they've actually done it wrong as well.
No, my absolute favorite is when people try and correct the use of the word, like, effect with an E, because that you can actually use that as a verb, and some people, they try and be all smart, like, oh, you can't use it as a verb. It's like, actually, so when you intentionally use it in one of its unusual ways, and people like all trying to correct you and stuff, it's amazing. It's hilarious. I love it.
Every time I even think about like spelling and grammar, I feel like just like calling up Sejol and being like, how do I do this?
Oh man,
and the Zerg swarm.
I bet Sir Jolt is like the alternate personality of like the Microsoft paperclip. It's like helping you out. Pretty amazing. Paperclip Jolt. By the way, guys, we're not talking about the game because Dre is basically dead, as NeMu said. He's kind of. Oh, look at this! He morphed and radiated things into lurker eggs. That's cute. Look at that.
We're still gonna die. Wait, they don't. What?
Yeah, they don't take damage from radiate when they're eggs.
Oh my god, that's
It's
nuts.
amazing.
But you can irradiate eggs though, so it's like an invisible. Well, it's a visible irradiate that does nothing.
Well, I think it still splashes units that are nearby.
Oh, okay, alright. Fair enough.
Yep.
But yeah, look at this sea of red. I'm really glad that he was the red player, because he just looks great with all the red stuff moving around in the minimap.
I think it's hard to see though when he's walking on the lava. At least on the main map.
A little bit, yeah. But it's just such a rough position here for Andrey. I mean, his tank count is probably better now than it has been for the whole game. That's probably the reason that he's in the position that he's in right now. He spent so much gas on these Goliaths to kind of fend off the Mutalisks, but really, I think he could have got by with more turrets and just, going for the vessels, And then he could have had more tanks in that initial push. But he's going to try and re-expand here to 3 o'clock, try and get that third gas up, but I kind of feel like he's running on a pretty short timer right now. Zerg has everything that they want. Has pretty good defense as well. It's been on top of all these attempted Vulture Unbuys. Has his Ultralist upgrades coming now. The speed. I don't know if he's already got the Carapace.
No, I think his cavern just finished, so that's the first upgrade. That's
actually a little bit interesting because normally the suggested wisdom is to get the Carapace first because it's such a huge upgrade. But I guess when you're fighting against tanks, the speed is much more important. If you can get the Ultralist up to the tanks, taking 2 less damage from 75 or whatever ridiculous damage tanks do, it actually doesn't matter that much.
Actually, I remember one of the earliest. Oh, hold that thought. Looks like there's a big attack coming in here. Just look at the minimap. A huge wave of units. A good defense matrix on the leading siege tank, but just so many units pouring in. Some queens coming in. Is it a Sarah? What is it for? It's just flying over the battlefield for lulz. And here comes the first Ultralisk as well. Looks like it's unupgraded with either speed or Carapace, but it doesn't even matter. It's leading the charge here. And I think Andrey's going to get cleaned up, although it looks like the unit is moving over to take out the Nexus instead, going to ignore the main army. Some reinforcements going to come in here, but it doesn't really matter.
He wants to get the Infest up. Actually, this is actually a good strategy.
Oh, he's going to get it.
You think it's...
Infesta! If Nesta! I thought he typed Nesty for a second, like I am Nesty. Oh, I'll leave it here.
Alright.
See ya, Andrey.
Interesting to note that if those SCVs had kept repairing and the Hydras had stopped shooting, when the Queen went in, you can actually repair the Queen out of the command center before it finishes investing.
Yep. Little known fact.
But that wasn't the case.
Man, I remember I casted a game where that happened.
You're halving the HP of the command centers by having a Queen around, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's good times. And more importantly, you get your opponent to leave the game. Alright, so NeMu wins that, and he will go on to face True Touch in the winner's match. Andrey will drop down to face 0 in the loser's match. So,
alright.
Oh, we have an update though. We have an update. Hold on. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. We'll be right back after this commercial break.